Ryan is a button pusher tonight. All right, well, hey, you have to do,
Yeah, push the right button.
push the right button,
He pushes buttons, not the right way.
and you have to tell me when we're live.
Push this button. I'm getting ready to push the button.
No, you gotta
Can you do the tap down?
You have to do the 3,
It has to
2.
be. Hey.
All right, we are at the Village Minerva Park Council regular meeting. It is October 9th. It is 7:51 PM, and we are gonna start with roll call.
Oh. Oh, bloopers, guys, it's fine. He'll cut it out.
Can we start over? I'm just joking.
We don't call it.
Okay, roll call.
Okay.
Chief, you did that to me. Okay, Councilperson Grant.
Here.
Council President Cameron.
Here.
Councilperson Pinter.
Here.
Councilperson Passion.
Here.
Councilperson Martin.
Present.
And Councilperson Cost.
Present.
All right, now, I know so many people were so excited for this part.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna blame it on Brian. He threw me off today. All right, we are gonna start tonight with Nicole Marshall, the treasurer CFO from Westerville City Schools. She has a presentation for us in regards to the earned income tax ballot issue on November 4th. So take it away.
Thank you for having me. I do have a handout, is it all right?
Yes.
Yeah, we love a handout.
Pass these around real quick. Just make sure everybody has a copy. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Again, my name is Nicole Marshall, and I'm the treasurer of Westerville City Schools. I've been with the district since 2018. I have a presentation that is all of 5 slides for you tonight, which is very, very rare for a school funding presentation. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that. I am not going to do a deep dive into what is school funding and the state of school funding in the great state of Ohio today, but I'm always happy to have that conversation if anybody wants to reach out to me separately. Love to teach people about what's going on. So I'm just here today to make sure that our community understands what is on the ballot this November. The election day is November the 4th, and we have an earned income tax on the ballot, school district earned income tax, and we'll talk about that and what that means. Go to the next slide, please. So as we think about school funding, all of the things that are going on, but we were on the ballot last fall. We're continuing to see increased costs, increased student needs, the cost of inflation, and just an example I like to give. The cost of a school bus back in 2019, the last time we had an operating levy approved, was about $80,000. To buy that same school bus today, it's about $140,000. That's just one example of, and you all are dealing with construction. Construction is also another cost that continues to go up. Fuel, energy, all of those things. We continue to see increased needs for students that are coming to us every day and the things that they need, and lots of new requirements from, again, the great state of Ohio loves to put new unfunded mandates on school districts. So as we've seen increased costs, we've also seen the state reduce its share to our school community by 25% since 2021. It is a shared responsibility between local and the state on the cost of education in Ohio for our traditional public schools. And we continue to see the state reducing what its share is to our school community. So we were on the ballot last fall, we weren't successful. We had a property tax and a bond issue combined that would have addressed some facilities needs along with some operating needs. Since that wasn't successful, we immediately made several reductions, over 30 positions, $3.3 million from our budget, just in staffing costs. We had our buildings and departments go back and review their budgets. Overall, it was a reduction of about $9 million of our budget. And so we've done everything that we can. We advocated with the state. We're still at a very big revenue shortfall. And so we have to be on the ballot this fall. And without new money, we will have to make at least $20 million in cuts in our annual operating budget, which is very significant to our school district. The Board of Education held a board meeting on September the 22nd. where they approved a list of proposed reductions should this ballot issue not pass in November. And I think it's really important that our community make sure that they are well informed of what that means exactly. And all of that is available on the district's website, which I have a QR code here that's anybody can get to. So if you go to the next slide. So this issue is a 0.75% earned income tax. And for some reason, some people are confused about this, so I do like to mention that 0.75% is less than 1%. And it would generate about $24.3 million annually for our operating budget. So our operating budget is about $230 million annually, just to kind of put that in perspective. It only applies to earned income such as wages, salaries, and net self-employment income. It's important to understand that a school district income tax is a residential tax. And so what that means is that it only applies to people who live within the school district, regardless of where they work. Anyone who lives within the school district boundaries and has earned wages or net self-employment, this would apply to them. And some people are sometimes confused about what our school boundaries are. So there's a map on the handout that we have here. We have 52 square miles. We have areas in we have the village of Minerva Park, areas in the city of Columbus, Blendon Township, Sharon Township, Plain Township, city of Westerville, Genoa Township. I think that's everything. Just all around, right? But we are 52 square miles. So anyone that lives within these boundaries, that is a resident within these boundaries, this would apply to them. Unlike cities and municipalities, we don't have the ability to tax people who work in our area. They have to be, it just applies to the residents. School district income taxes are just residential income taxes. Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Again, earned income, this has nothing to do with property taxes. It will not apply to property taxes in any way, shape, or form. And it does not apply to retirement income, pensions, Social Security, unemployment, dividends, or capital gains. Anything that is not wages, salaries, or net self-employment. The other thing I do want to mention is that your employer is required to withhold a school district income tax from your paycheck. So every year your employer gets a list of all of the taxing jurisdictions that would apply to you, and they are required to withhold the school district income tax from your paycheck. So it's not like you would see a bill every so often or go to the city to pay your income tax, right? Like you do with the city sometimes, right? That would look a little bit different. And for this, anyone that's self-employed, they would file their taxes the same as they would their state income tax through the Department of Taxation. So that would not, it's not the same as the municipal income tax. You can go to the next slide, please. This is not a new concept for school funding in Ohio. We are having lots of conversations with the state right now about property taxes. I'm sure you all are aware there is a possible ballot initiative that would essentially abolish property taxes in the state of Ohio. And so there's a lot of conversation at the state level about us diversifying our revenue streams. We have basically three options. We can ask the state for more money, which we've done, or we can ask our community for a property tax or an income tax. We don't have the ability to ask our community for any other types of tax. There are two different types, traditional and earned income. We're asking for an earned income tax in this case. But this is a list of all of the districts around us, so we're obviously the red circle there in the middle. And then anything shaded blue is a school district that has an income tax. And you can see what the counties listed and the names of the school districts, the first year of their income tax and the percentage amounts. Not a new concept. We're having lots of conversation about school funding as a whole. Again, always happy to have that conversation with anybody that wants to learn about it. But this is something that would help us really be mindful of our community and the conversation around some of our senior citizens who are retired and all of those things. And so we heard a lot from them when we were on the ballot last fall about being worried about being priced out of their homes and being on fixed incomes and all of that stuff. And so this was an approach that we thought would be more appropriate for our community. And so that's why we're here. The other piece I do want to mention is that the state of Ohio, as part of the recent state budget bill for 26 and 27, is reducing the state income tax by 0.75% by the second year of the biennium, and that is on earnings for anything over $100,000. So they're working their way to a flat tax in the state. And so we've seen reduced funding from the state, and as that state share decreases, that means we go back to our community. So again, our options are additional revenue or cut expenses pretty significantly. And so should this not pass, we'll have to go that route because we're out of options if this doesn't pass at this point. So, and lots of information on the website. There's a frequently asked questions. If you just scan the QR code, lots of information. I would like to, if you're on social media and you're reading things or just all the information out there, if anyone has any questions, I would encourage them to reach out. There is a lot of just really inaccurate information out and about in the world. And I'm always happy to take the time to meet with anybody that has questions or just wants to learn about school funding. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
And that's all I have. Did you guys have any questions?
Can you go over the things that we risk losing if this doesn't pass?
That is a great question. So we have things that are required. We have legal requirements, we have graduation requirements, we have what college require for students to make. And so looking at it through that lens, the district prepared a pretty lengthy list. So $20 million is a really big number. Over 30 positions that we've already cut was about $3.3 million. So really a drop in the bucket for the kind of reductions. So it's over 120 staffing positions. It's raising pay to participate fees. And you can see on the presentation what they are now versus what they would be, but high school would be $500 per sport. And then middle school was $350 per sport. And activities that are athletics would be $50 and $25 for high school and middle school. And then we have, we would evaluate our magnet school programs. We have 2 buildings that have magnet schools in them. If you apply for the lottery, it has some specialized programs and things like that that gives kids some different opportunities. And so we would look at potentially combining some of those programs or evaluating what that looks like. There's a whole list. So art, music, and PE at the elementary are not required, and so that's on the list. The electives, think of electives at middle school, electives at high school. We would also likely reduce the student day at the elementary and middle school because when you don't have those classes to offer, that means kids might end up sitting in study halls for periods of time longer than what anyone would want in middle school. And the district had, when I moved to the district in 2018, we actually had middle school kids that had 2 to 3 study halls a day because we didn't have the options for additional courses. And so we've been very clear that we would likely just decrease the student day so that we could still give our teachers the planning time that they are required to have. And then the same thing for the elementary too. And so it would be a monumental change. The other piece is transportation. We would reduce at least 14 routes and we would expand what is our non-transport zones. So in the state, we're only required to transport students who live more than 2 miles from their home school in K-8. We're not required to transport high school students at all. And we generally transport any student that lives more than a mile from their home school. That's sort of the process that we use. And there's variations to that, especially depending on the roads and if there's walkable areas and that sort of thing. So this would expand that non-transport zone. It would be greater than that mile. We didn't want to completely eliminate high school transportation because we understand that that would be a major access issue for some of our students because we have no high schools in the southern end of our district, right? They're like, we're busing all the kids into the upper part of the district. And so we would just look at expanding that overall, which would look a lot different than it does now. It would definitely be reduced services. I would also say there's lots of different, we are cutting, we've already cut administrative positions, we've cut additional administrative positions, and some other positions in the district offices. And it would also mean longer wait times for services and things like that, and less support for our buildings.
I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Thank you.
The increase is 0.75, right?
Mhm.
Would it have to go back to vote if you wanted to increase it?
That's a great question. So this is a continuing income tax, so it would not go back for a vote,
And
should it pass.
Yeah, or unless you wanted more, you'd have to go back to vote.
Yes, so if we wanted to change the percentage, we would have to take it back to the voters, yeah.
I know that's out there, so.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for your
for your
time.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, there you go. All right. Next, we will move to meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve our September 20th, 2025 work session minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Motion to approve September 25th, 2025 committee as a whole minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
And third.
And third, and
I know that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? A motion to approve the September 25th, 2025 council meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Do we have a motion to approve the October 2nd, 2025 council work session minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right. Next, we will move to our village official reports, and we will start with Chief Maddell.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just looking over my report. I don't have anything to add this time.
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions?
Maybe, I don't know, what's the most exciting thing or the thing that you're most proud of the police department that happened this?
I'm sorry.
Oh, do a positive, something that happened that you're most proud of this month with the police department, like something good for the village.
Well-
We should do that more, we never
Yeah,
talk about that.
I agree.
What's a good thing that happened?
In the report, we talked about first responders night.
Yeah.
That has continuously grown.
Yeah.
It's become more popular with the neighboring agencies. When we first started, we kind of had to twist arms to get people to come, and this was a lot easier to get commitments from the neighboring departments to come. So I think everyone's seen the value of the interaction with the community. So that's a really positive thing, and it's grown in size. And I think we had more people this year than we had last year. So it just continues to improve.
Yeah, we had a helicopter and horses, that's a big deal. And New Albany said Minerva Park was really nice, the police department, I heard them
Yes.
talking amongst themselves, just saying, on the record.
I agree. And next year's gonna be bigger and better, just saying. I'm not sure. I think somebody said, didn't you say that we needed, tanks or something?
Probably, why not?
Okay,
Go
so
for
that's
it.
the new goal, is to get some
Can
sort
we
of
get a
like
tank? Oh wait, no, I wanted a Humvee.
a Humvee.
Can we get a Humvee?
We've invited the Ohio National Guard, the Air National Guard, the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
We were trying to get them to do a slack rope descent from a helicopter. But they've flown over, they've looked at it and said that it's not conducive, the area is not conducive to do that. And so,
So ask for like parachutes and then be like, okay, fine, we'll compromise and can you just bring a Humvee?
say they just show up in uniform.
Yeah,
So we're trying, bigger and better, so if anybody has any ideas, always pass them along, because we start planning for this like 2 weeks ago. for
my
next year.
kids love the horses.
That was,
Victoria was like doggy and I was like,
That's
wait,
the
no.
biggest horse I've seen live.
That's the biggest horse ever.
Yeah.
And he was the same age as my 3-year-old. They got along.
so yeah, thank you, because that is an event that they, Corley and Barb and Leah put a lot of time into that, and it shows. I mean,
Be proud
obviously
of
it
your
shows.
neighborhood, that's all I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very proud.
All right, I did excuse Jeffrey Wilczek for tonight as well, because I knew that this meeting was gonna go the previous meeting was gonna go long, and we weren't really gonna be able to have that. I'm gonna let you talk
Yeah, just
about
real
it.
quick, I mean, we're having a finance meeting on the 14th, 6 to 7. It's gonna get into the, kind of into the budget process and how that's gonna work over the next couple months. And kind of us voting on it, stuff like that. I really wanna, I'll put it out on social media too. I really want to try to get five, 6 people in here just to hear it if possible. Be here as part of the committee meeting. That's all we have right now.
Yep. So the 14th, 6 to 7. I think we're gonna have to throw out pizza, pop,
Sure.
snacks. I mean, we're gonna have to do something if you want 5 or 6, because I don't think I've ever seen 5 to 6 people here.
Finance?
Right,
Yes.
exactly. Okay.
For dry
Um,
No, thank you.
Mike Flickinger spent an hour and a half in here, going over anything and everything from our engineer. So, I guess it'll be online tomorrow, all of the updates, so feel free to go through and listen to that. If anybody has any questions for him, they are more than welcome to, reach out to myself, shoot me an email, and I will always get it to him.
Barb, can we like mark that as just like a separate, can we publish it the way that it is, but also can we have a separate like Mike Flickinger, whatever, October 2025
Like-
village update?
Like a hyphen or something, and just put like
Just
Mike
like-
Flickinger next to it type thing?
Yeah, just like
Oh.
one where it's like easily searchable, where you're like, I just only care about like the streets and roadway projects. This is the latest update, 2025, just so we can categorize them a little bit differently.
So like where it says work session, I think what we want is like work session / Mike Flickinger.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've actually had that issue recently. We
Yeah,
were going back and
100%.
trying to look for something, and you have to click on all of the work sessions
Yeah.
for like 2 months, because I'm like, this is normally what I do. I go to Barb and I say, I think it was around the beginning of pool season, maybe May, June, and then we find out it was like in February.
Yeah,
So I'm typically off, but, so yes, that would be great if we started labeling them a little bit more.
or I wonder, can we put like all of those also in a separate folder too? Like, can we also have a separate link, like street updates, this one, in a separate folder so it's easily searchable?
On the website?
Yeah, somewhere.
Let me see what I can figure out.
Like an engineering tab almost.
Yeah, like
Almost like
an
an-
engineer,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, we have like streets projects and pool
Yeah.
projects and all of that already,
Like
so.
anything relevant goes in this folder too, or links. So that
We
way.
do that when it's geared, and I know what you're saying, so
Sorry.
normally we do that when it's geared towards like, when we just talk, like the meeting that we
Yeah.
had in here that was focused solely on this, we do put it in that particular tab, but like with this one being like 3 different or 4 different things,
Then put
I
it
know
in
what you're
all
asking for, maybe we could just like make like a miscellaneous
No, I'm
engineering.
saying put it in all 4 of those.
Or put it in all 4.
If this pertains to, okay, you know how you like label your like, I'm very organized on my Pinterest, but it's like, okay, well, this goes in here, but also there's 4 tags to it and it applies to all 4. So that way if you search for that, all these pop up.
Yeah, because we have one that says
Yeah.
maintenance garage, we have one that's streets
Yeah.
projects, we have one, so any of those that we put it in, I don't know that we have all of those tabs, but we could put them in the tabs that make sense.
Yeah,
And then other than that, again, just label it Mike Flickinger or engineer report
Okay, yeah.
or something. So, yeah. I get what
sorry,
you're
I'm
saying.
trying to organize things.
Okay, so next, I'm gonna turn it over to our legal team. I don't know if you have anything, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'm assuming no, but go for it.
Please don't find
Well, also, I have not met all of you now, so I apologize in advance for my voice.
Oh,
But Jesse is out of town at a professional development event, but wanted to let you know that him and I are working on a charter presentation background for you, and you will have that well in advance of your November work session.
thank you.
Thank you. See, you did have a report.
Good job.
All right.
Hire us.
Village planning, also, again, anybody can yell at me for this. He has been working with trying to get us contracts for the street, or for the sidewalks project. I know he is working on that. And I'm not gonna say anything about planning and zoning and take away your thunder. So, if anybody has any questions, feel free to email Eric at any point in time. I do expect them to be here next week. So again, and he will be at planning and zoning as well. So, the planning and zoning meeting as well, so if anybody has any questions.
Yeah.
And then our zoning officer, John Canty, is the report in there? Okay, the report's in your guys', it's not in mine. If anybody has any questions about that, again, feel free to reach out to me, or our zoning officer and ask him any questions you may have. Actually, I will say this, I've said this in multiple meetings. Just because you don't see quick action on certain things doesn't mean that they're not being worked on. We have brought, a couple individuals into mayor's court for violations. So just because people are getting letters doesn't mean they're necessarily fixing it, and just because you're not seeing something fixed doesn't mean they're not getting letters. So we are actively working on those things, on some of those things, but some of those take more time if they're not cooperative. So just pointing that out because I know that we've gotten the same complaint multiple times from the same person, and they just, it gets angrier and angrier, but the problem is you can only make people do what you can make them do. So, all right, next we will move to planning and zoning. Mr. Councilperson Grant.
Yes, so planning and zoning is meeting on October 15th. I think we're gonna continue the conversation in regards to the planned commercial district.
And hopefully get it, according to Eric, hopefully get it finished up and bring it up to council.
Yes.
The goal is potentially not having a December meeting, and then deciding whether or not we will have a November one, just as an FYI for you guys. As of right now, it will be on the calendar, but if there is nothing to, we'll discuss that as we get closer. We'll keep it on the calendar, until we see if it's gonna happen or not.
I mean, this is not time for discussion, but is it possible, maybe bring this back to them, to have a separate, again, I'm organizing everything in my head in tabs, where it's like a separate, just aesthetics, just the signs that could potentially be enforced separately for the planned commercial district. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
I wanna, yeah. So if it's really hard to enforce the whole thing, maybe there's one separate part that we can start on first. Yeah? No? No? Yeah?
We're still talking about what we might like.
Okay.
There's no plan yet.
Have you tried offering all of them energy drinks?
Once a month, yes.
I bring my own,
Yeah.
and I put them in the fridge. All right, do we have anything else? Well, looking forward to next week.
Okay.
All right, next we have Council President Camera for MPCA.
So, NBC, I had the meeting last night, I just was able to present at the front end of that meeting, so I did not get to attend their meeting. I will say, they have two events coming up. They have the Fall Festival, which is Saturday, October 18th. And let me see if I can see what time it is real quick. It is 11 to 1, yes, thank you, right here at the municipal building, it looks like. And then on the evening of the 28th is candidates night for the upcoming election, and that is here at the building as well, and that's from 7 to 8. So 7 to 8 on their site, so.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? All right, moving right along, we will get to the committee reports. I know we just said this, so if you just want to repeat it again.
Yeah.
Councilperson Pinter, Finance.
Again, meeting next Tuesday, the 14th, 6 to 7 p.m. Again, I'd like to have some people come out just to hear everything. Jeffrey leads it. It's really good. He typically has an agenda. He keeps it on point. We talk about the projects and everything that are going on. And it kind of allows us an idea of kind of funding, what we can make decisions off of for the most part. But Jeff just does a great job of keeping us on task. We keep it to an hour and we move on. But again, this one has everything to do with our funding for next year, our budget for next year. And if any questions that pop up, feel free to ping me on Facebook or whatever. But yeah, that's it.
Do you anticipate this being the big budget meeting, or?
This will be us talking about it for sure. I think he's done a pretty good job of laying some groundwork for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is the big one yet.
Yeah, and then, but thank you, Tommy, it's a good question, because it won't be everything like we're gonna vote on, I guess, but it definitely will ping on everything that we will talk about.
You know, he's planning on talking about salaries and pay ranges, that was one of the things
Yeah.
he told me today.
Thank you.
We already discussed this a tiny bit, and I'm sorry to take over this part, but anything that we want to pass without an emergency, he is fully aware. If there's no emergency and it's not, it has to be read on the 23rd. If we read it starting November 1st, or I'm sorry, I wrote it down. November 13th is our next meeting, so if we actually start readings on November 13th, We have 2 meetings in November and then one December 11th. So
Yeah.
It won't
there
pass.
are a couple things that we cannot have to do as an emergency since it's December 11th. Because our first, we don't know yet, but our first pay, I'm looking at him, but our first actual pay in January is January 11th. So we're looking at dates, just trying to make sure that we give everybody ample time to review things and without having to do an emergency, but I'm just warning you, there's gonna be quite a few that's probably
Mayor, this
gonna
is,
be.
if you don't mind,
Yes.
a request for, this is for Tommy too. From a legislative perspective, can we have on the agenda the ones that we're gonna add to there for the next couple meetings? And then just, at least it pings you on what we're gonna be talking about, voting on over that.
We had talked about sending Tommy some stuff, and so we'll send it to you guys, in regards to,
Got it.
because there's a huge list when it comes to like healthcare and,
Yeah.
again, salary pay ranges and the things that we do every single year at the end of the year, the recurring contracts, and that's why I brought it up last week and this week. So we may start some of the readings next week,
Yep.
just because we can. Some of the ones that aren't ready, we will start on November, the first meeting in November.
Yeah.
And some of those, again, they won't have to be passed as an emergency because of the date in January, but anything else like healthcare is going to have to be passed as an emergency.
Thank you. Any advance notice?
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, we are trying to do that. We will not have the information from some of these places
Gotcha.
before to get it on there.
That's-
So we're at their discretion
Thank you.
of, or at their mercy, I should say.
From a streets perspective, I sent Jeff an email, but you guys, will you please start talking about budgeting for the streets project that are slated to be caught up for next year, the ones that we're kind of missing?
Gotcha.
So Mike just talked about.
Yep.
So I sent him an email about that. Mike's gonna reach out, but we need to get back on schedule if possible.
Yeah, like Jason mentioned too, he has talked about that.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
The sewer
Yeah,
one,
so
the sanitary and the storm?
Yeah,
Yep.
both of those, because
I
we're
agree.
behind
Yep.
those and we want
Yes,
to.
we are.
Yep, and I guess that's my streets report, nobody asked me.
Yeah, he did.
You're not on here tonight.
I know,
You're
what the
on
heck?
this
What did I
thing. You must
get?
be next
Memos
month,
and
or
all
next
that.
2 weeks.
I'm not with the cool kids, okay.
Not today. All right, so let's go to safety. Councilperson Passion.
So as we all know, our chief is a man of few words. And so I want to read into the record part of what he has in his report tonight, because I think it's really important to make sure that we've all seen this. The second paragraph, the chief is talking about the Minerva Lake Road project and encountered a number of challenges. I thought that was a nice way of saying it. But the last sentence in particular, as the project progresses toward Cleveland Avenue, the chief recommends implementing a full closure of each section, allowing access only for residents, mail service, refuse collection, and delivery vehicles. And I just wanted to read that out loud so that we can think about that for future projects. If our police department is telling us that would be an improvement for future projects, it's worth thinking about.
Thanks, chief.
That's good.
Yeah, that's it. I don't disagree. I think that was where we missed the boat on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, thank you, both of those. And then, next we will move to councilperson grant for legislation.
Yeah, no, I mean, Barb did send me over some things in regards to things that are coming up, wages, healthcare, all the things, contracts, all that stuff that we do annually. It's no new surprise. Haven't really established if we're gonna hold a legislation committee meeting outside of, thinking of maybe it makes the most sense to, and I guess I'm kind of just spitballing at the moment, but hold it before the council meeting, so we're having that conversation in the meeting. And then when we get to the meeting, we can speak intelligently of it.
I agree.
Okay.
Maybe do we have anything additional on the 23rd?
What do you mean?
It says.
Any speakers or
Committee,
anything?
no.
So maybe as the committee as a whole, like if we did that at the beginning and then the last 30 minutes of the committee as a whole, do just
Focus on
legislation.
legislation,
Yeah, and just,
So do you want to schedule it as a legislative meeting at
During committees
7 or what, or?
no, I would just leave it alone, but maybe just so we know we watch
It's
the
a
clock
committee
for
meeting,
it.
yeah, but-
Yeah.
Should we?
Carving out time specifically for legislation to be,
There is discussion
The
moving
main thing.
into, as you say that, there is discussion or requests from some people that tonight's meeting, obviously, once again, we knew this was going to go long. But as we progress forward, there is a request that we go ahead and put on, and maybe we don't start doing this until November, but as we come towards the end of the year, a lot of projects and things like that slow down. maybe they will, maybe they won't, but there was a request that we do go ahead and leave the meeting time at 7. And if we run over, we run over. If we don't, then we can just start it at 7, so we're not sitting here. I don't know how you guys feel about that, and maybe I shouldn't be talking about it right here, but since we were talking about legislation and timing and stuff, because if we start at 6:30, we cannot start the meeting until 7:30, but in the same sense, the reason that we did that is because all of the meetings were running over. So,
Do you want to test it out?
do you guys want to go back to that, just if you guys don't mind, in November? I think you guys are gonna have a lot of legislation next week, or at least the discussion of it that we could get, so maybe we leave next week's, or in 2 weeks alone. But then starting in November, with the holidays and all that kind of stuff, I feel like I don't want to draw out a meeting just because, but I do want to have the meeting go as long as we need, but knowing that we can stop.
I don't mind, I mean,
Okay.
if we can just keep discussing after 7 and it doesn't matter,
I would
but,
just remind y'all that we decided not to add additional work sessions to talk through the 2026 projects, that we were gonna do them in our
Work session.
work session,
Okay.
so,
And that's why we moved it back.
yeah,
That's up to you guys.
so, and there really is only, 2 left, so, for the year,
I don't know if we've ever not used the whole time.
right,
We did it first, and now we have been.
yeah.
Yeah.
The reason that we switched it back to 7:30 is because we were using them, but before, there was a couple times that the reason that we moved them back to 7
Oh, yeah. it's
was
we had-
because,
yeah.
I think it's when we were starting at 6, we were done and we couldn't start until 7 and we were sitting here for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But then maybe everybody has their coffee or something and they're ready to go later. I don't know. Again, just a discussion, just a topic. I don't want to do anything that you guys don't want to do, but in the same sense, I don't know how the rest of the year is going to pan out with timing and with what we have going on. I feel like a lot of these projects are coming to an end that we're not going to be discussing most of them until we get bids and stuff until January.
Yeah. I could go either way, I don't think it matters to me at all. So if anybody has strong opinions about it, that's.
We just need to know how to post it,
Yeah,
so people are
If
aware.
anybody is like, no,
Well-
I'd rather be home early.
You guys think about it for 15 minutes and we'll talk about it in old business. How about that?
That sounds great.
All right, let's move on. My mayor's report, I'm gonna keep short and sweet. I've talked through this whole meeting once again. So leaf pickup starts really fast. I'm stealing JP's thunder because he wasn't on the list tonight. Leaf pickup does start some point in time next week. I think it's Tuesday, the 14th. Our current plan is to try to do the construction area. I have reached out to Brad. I left this very detailed on Brad's voicemail. We were supposed to talk today and we weren't able to connect. Our goal, because of the letter that we got from Heath, our only option for Minerva Lake Road is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, because we don't do Mondays. So pickup would be Tuesday and Wednesday, the week of the 14th, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, the week of the 21st. The only other thing that I'm gonna say, and this is gonna sound horrible, and I don't wanna use the words, it is what it is. If they can't get through there, they can't get through there. It will just have to resume when this project is done. There will still be plenty of weeks for it to happen. I do not wanna inconvenience them, the residents. However, if the concrete's wet, or if the sidewalk, or if all of that stuff is wet, obviously I don't want leaves sitting on it. We're basically asking people to get them as close to the construction area as possible, but not into the construction area. Some residents just might not want to touch their leaves until it's over and done with. That's up to them. We are trying to, and at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen. So we are hopeful that they will be able to get through it there, and they will be able to do the leaf pickup only on Tuesday and Wednesday. We are asking our contractor to start there on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then same thing on the week of the 21st. Basically, after that, we are hoping that it's gonna be done enough that it's gonna be doable. Worst case, by the first week of November, we are definitely hoping that we're good to go. And then they still have the whole month of November and the 2 weeks in December. So that's our goal, that is our hope. Obviously, weather can change, and that can change everything, but
Another consideration for the quick step, probably.
yeah, so, that's most, just don't forget trick or treat 6 to 8, October 30th. We did send out the landscape RFP. We sent it to lots of different people. We sent it to the company that Blendon uses. We sent it to our person. We sent it, I think he said, to 7 different people. It's posted online. So we're hopeful we get a couple different responses. Don't ask me what they are due because I do not know. I do know if I go look at the website, it's all on there. Do you know off the top of your head?
No, off the top.
Off the top of my head, I just don't know. But obviously, probably in about 20 some days is what it would be.
Okay.
And I'm done. That's my mayor's report. Citizen comments.
That RFP thing just got sent to the Daily Reporter for publication, so it's not live on the
Okay.
website yet, but it will.
Okay. All right, we will start with Craig Buckingham. List your, I already said your name, so your address, and you have 3 minutes.
So actually, I'm gonna be a little bit longer, but my wife is gonna sign me the time.
Okay, so she would like to speak?
I'm gonna speak on her behalf.
I think the last time we said.
That's
that
fine.
wasn't allowed.
So you have, so up to 6 minutes.
So,
Yeah, that, the last time our legal counsel said that we couldn't do that, so
Oh, we couldn't do
we
that.
could not.
Okay, I apologize, sorry, I thought you said, so you have 3 minutes, or she can come up and use her 3 minutes. Are you ready?
I don't even know if I should bother. A lot of people here. There was a meeting with residents in October last year, which was attended by many of the residents, and it was made very clear this meeting was about the roads and not the sidewalks. Funding for the road project was completely separate, and we did not even know if funding would be available. It was stated that another meeting would be held there if there were sidewalks, and we would be given the opportunity to review, and it would never be passed as an emergency. During your discussion on the sidewalk path project and your work session on September 4th, you discussed the need to get a master plan together to present to the residents and ask them, what do you think? We have option A, option B, or maybe better off with nothing. We just can't tell them, this is it. We have discussed with the width of the sidewalks, if they should be 4 or 5 foot. The engineer's report said 4 foot. The posting on the website, and I think we actually got a postcard on this, but the posting on July 7th said it would be 4 foot. In your work session on September 4th to 25, you discussed challenges and how there would be significant impact to some residents. Mr. Fisher noted the residents on the south side of Minerva Road would be happy to have happy with it, and the north side would be upset. The mayor, you said only a handful probably would be dissatisfied. I'll come back if I have time for that point. In your work session on October 2nd, you stated that council needed to foster engagement with residents. Thank you, 3 minutes. So what are the facts? We did not have that meeting to discuss the sidewalk or have an opportunity to discuss the impacts it would have. And each and every one of you voted to pass this as an emergency. Legislation that could have been easily passed separate from the road project to honor your commitment. There was no project plan, master plan, and there still is not. Alternatives were not considered and nothing was communicated to the residents. We were told, this is what you're getting. You approved a 5-foot sidewalk without any notification to the residents. Even though you stated a 4-foot sidewalk would be less impact to the trees, conversation is just that, as we move further west on Minerva Lake Road. No reason stated why, so I can only guess the reason why it's 5 foot is because Mr. Fisher said that's the way it had to be. So why am I here tonight? I have been discussing this project since it began with my neighbors, and I felt I had a pretty good idea how the different neighbors felt. But when I spoke here, I was speaking with my opinion. And much like Mr. Fisher or the mayor was doing in on September 4th meeting referred to above, so what is different today? I have gone to the residents and I asked them 3 questions. So screw me, right? Well, I was here to ask, I have a survey, 75%.
All right, enough.
No, 75.
The 3 minutes are up, please have a seat.
Thank you.
Everyone gets an equal amount of time.
Okay,
That's it.
we, you're fortunate to do other, good.
Is there anyone else?
Next.
There's nobody else, I mean, they're more than welcome to, but
I don't know if she wants to talk.
they're more than welcome, yeah, they're more than welcome to. Okay,
Alrighty then.
do you by any chance have that date and time, or the date in which?
Get it. I have it in my notes.
Go grab it. I'll get to it in the old business, new business.
We put in
Yeah.
sidewalk so we can.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just move to legislation. I just have a comment to make when she comes back, just for the record.
Yeah, perfect. So legislation this evening, we have two items on the agenda. The first one is Resolution 2025-21, which is the Valley Road Project. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and the fiscal officer to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the Valley Road improvements and declaring it an emergency. This is the third reading. I think that the engineers, here today, we discussed it pretty full. Does anyone have any questions about it, or?
I do, just for clarity,
Sure.
and help me, sorry, I know Stacy may not be happy, but declaring it an emergency in its third reading, what does that mean exactly? I thought declaring emergency would be like
I know
first
this one.
reading, so.
You have to wait 30 days. If it's not an emergency, you have to wait 30 days. If it is an emergency, it's implemented immediately after.
Thank you.
So there's a deadline.
So I think that, does that eliminate the opportunity for a referendum?
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not a lawyer.
I've heard them talk about it, it's just conceptually, thank you.
It's one of those challenges, and tell me if I'm wrong, being a statutory village, we have it's called an emergency, but it's just a tool. It's like calling a hammer a weapon. It's just a tool we use to
I
pass
hear a lot of
legislation.
complaints about
I think
calling it an emergency, so
there's-
that's why I wanted to ask too.
Yeah, I
The
think
word
there's
was
a,
urgency.
yeah, it should be urgency. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about that. Emergency sounds very emergent and
Yeah.
not urgent. And I think just it has a bad reputation because of the way that it sounds. And unfortunately, and if we consider being a charter, a lot of that would be alleviated, but until then, we have a lot of emergency passages.
Well, I think,
And not because we're so unorganized and we can't figure it out, but because the only way for us to make deadlines that just pop up when bills are due and things like that, we have to pass things as an emergency.
well, in
and
this
do that.
specific instance, it's not just bills due, it's a timing project to make sure we're in line with the pool, to get everything, buttoned up correctly so we can make, this is the lowest rated road in Minerva Park, period, point blank. Like, if there is no need for an emergency, if there is a need for one, this is it. I mean, this is the one that's got a 22 PCI.
The other part to that he mentioned is this is one of the ones that is on the tightest timeline.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Anyone else? No? Okay. So this is the third reading. I think, Tiffany, it's your job.
All right. Council President Cameron.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Grant,
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
aye. What the heck?
I know. See, I'm so good, I catch these things.
First, no streets, Grant twice. Oh,
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
See?
starting a team.
All right.
person.
All right, so that passes.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, resolution 2025-24 is the Turk recommendations. Turk is the Tax Incentive Review Council. And this is a resolution accepting, approving, and ratifying the submitted recommendations of the Tax Incentive Review Council and declaring an emergency. This is the first reading with the intent to suspend rules that require 3 readings and pass as an emergency. And I know on the legislation itself, it's October 23rd is our second reading. That's when we were planning on passing that. So this would be the first reading with the intent to pass as an emergency.
Councilperson Grant, I do, in regards to Councilperson Pinter's point, I do think that it would be a good habit for us to justify why we need to call it an emergency for everybody at home, so it looks less shady.
And this particular one,
Yeah.
just so you are aware why we're even doing the first reading and the second reading, we do not have the proper documentations, meaning we are waiting for Westerville to get us the minutes Thank you.
And the report.
and the report.
There
So,
are two pieces of documentation that we need from them before we can approve it and get it back, sent back to the auditor's office.
and basically we have deadlines with the auditor wants this, except we don't have the information still. They actually wanted this yesterday. but we don't even have the documents to send, so you guys we wanted to read it, so you guys at least had it, but we're not ready to pass it because we don't have all of the proper documentation yet, so that's why we're doing a reading, just because we can.
Tiffany, or Mayor, is Jeff gonna mention this in our Tuesday meeting by any chance?
Probably, this is a meeting that is, half of us don't, I don't say that, this is horrible to say, but it's just a mandatory meeting that we go to, that they go over all of their Turk things, like we sit through Westerville. It's actually really interesting, because Westerville has like a bunch, but because of the way that ours is set up, our Turk meeting lasts 1 minute? About 1 minute.
And it's just basically a review of why this TIF revenue, how it was established and what it's being used for, and should this be continued to be allowed by the county.
That's,
It's
yeah,
basically the purpose for the meeting. And rumor has it that going forward, they'll be virtual and be even quicker.
yeah, because honestly, it takes us, we sit through all of Westerville's, which, and it's actually very interesting to learn, all of the things that they're doing in the upcoming projects and things like that, but ours is 1 minute. He may not, so it just, if you want him to explain any part of the Turk, definitely ask him, because this is just one of those standard things that we do every single year that the county requires.
Yep.
So yes, we're waiting on a document, that's why we're not doing it as an emergency and passing it tonight.
Sounds good. That's all I have for legislation.
No, you don't.
No, what?
You have
This is on.
to discuss the last piece of non-legislation, but I think this is where we should do it.
Non-legislation.
Would be what we discussed previously from Heath's email, whether or not you guys want to move forward with the quick setting.
Quick read, yeah.
And the reason that I want to talk to you guys about it is I feel like you guys I don't feel like this is a thing that I should do without you guys, because this is something that is in addition to what you guys originally passed in legislation. And I think you guys know that about me, but this is something that I think you guys need to have a say-so in, not me. So,
So I'll make a motion that we, revisit this.
Yeah, so it would be a motion to amend the agenda, a motion to approve, then the debate could happen.
okay.
Motion, so I'll make a motion to amend the agenda.
Second.
Yeah, okay.
Can you do a second? Okay. there you
To
go.
amend the agenda and then do the motion to,
Motion to
Do we
Add.
do we need to take a roll call, or?
yeah, do we have to do a roll call to amend the agenda, or do we do it all together?
You can do it all together.
Okay.
Aye.
Are you gonna?
said-
are we
No,
just
so do
gonna-
the whole thing, you want a motion to amend the agenda, and she
And
seconded it.
Seconded it. And then.
And to,
You can't,
Oh yeah, you can't do that. Start all over again and do the whole thing in one lump sum.
okay.
Ready?
I'm making a motion to amend the agenda to
And add.
talk about and add a motion to talk about the quick creek for the Minerva Lake Road project.
Second. Discussion.
Do you want me to do like all in favor to do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All in favor to do that part of it?
Aye.
And then if we could just add into this, not to exceed $25,000, when we do this, so just so you guys are aware.
Okay.
Because I think it was
25
22.
minutes
It was
of
22, yeah.
discussion.
What?
No,
And not to exceed,
25 minutes of discussion.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So does anybody want to talk about this? I'm sure we probably should explain it for anybody that didn't listen to our hour-and-a-half meeting.
Can you re-explain it?
Absolutely.
Tiffany? Again, just for the point of clarity, because
Yep.
I don't think it was clear last time we voted on it.
Yes.
Okay.
So Strauser Paving has reached back out to us to, I don't want to say offer, but explain.
Wait, back up. So we had a meeting where we discussed the timeline of the Minerva Lake project, and due to weather conditions and, the consideration of the residents and the inconvenience of the traffic patterns, we asked if there was some way to expedite the project. The thing that we came up with was that there was an option to do quick set concrete, which would potentially, weather permitting, decrease the project time by about a week. Go.
All right, so I'm just going to read it exactly how we did earlier.
Yeah.
To cut out a week of waiting, I would recommend rethinking the use of medium set concrete, not only to get everyone back in their driveways quicker, but also to expedite the process to try to beat possible poor weather conditions that could hinder the project. So this is just being brought back up to you guys as their recommendation to go ahead and do this. Obviously with weather changing and raining and all that good stuff, I'm assuming that that's why they're bringing it back up. This email was sent today at noon, actually 11:56 a.m. So that's why I'm bringing it to you guys tonight. because I can't wait till next week to do legislation or anything. So it was brought to you guys tonight because by next meeting, this project will hopefully be done.
And then the discussion was that this would add a cost of $22,000. That would be part of our contingency, and we have the budget in order to do so. Okay, go.
That's it?
So just to clarify, and forgive me if you said this is for the roadway, it's for the, almost like a bottom layer of concrete on the roadway only. This is not for the driveway, because driveway was just said in what was read. And I just want to be clear, it's for the roadway only, and then another type of concrete will be put on top of it.
I would love to tell you 100%.
I think it's
Yeah.
asphalt
What-
that goes on top.
The asphalt goes on, okay.
What-
But I just wanted to be
Yeah.
really clear, this isn't the driveways. We're not slipping the driveways in.
No, this is, specifically, this is the concrete base, because they have to do one side at each time. So what
Okay.
happens is,
Okay.
they will do the south side first, where the curbs are currently already installed, and then they would have to tell people, you can't drive on this for 1 week.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you do faster curing, then, because the other challenge is, it's gonna happen on the other side as
Right.
well, so you might be talking 2 weeks of people not being able to drive up and down the road, or potentially creating
Okay. Yep.
hazards
Yep.
along
That's
that
2 weeks,
project.
and then it
I'm all
shortens
about
it to
it.
1 week. Yep.
Yeah.
So it goes down to financial, right? So 25,000 more on top of a project that's,
One
you know,
point-
1.2, I think I saw last.
1.2 is the Minerva Lake Road, 1.7 is the overall-ish, yes.
And there's no quality loss in this product, this is a well-proven,
So it's,
concrete.
Yeah.
we've used this product before, so I think I can speak as chair of streets. We've used this product before, we have had 0 complaints about that. It is purely, the reason you pay more for it is because, A, it's, you know, a commodity, you're gonna pay more for convenience, right? So they can charge more. You're gonna pay more because you want it. 2, from what I understand, it does take a certain higher level of expertise that Strausser has expressed that they're able to do in order to install it correctly, because you have to work faster. They have said that they have worked with it before, they have a lot of experience with it. They've done it before in other parts of the village, and that probably has something to do with the cost as well.
I agree.
I think one thing to bring up that's different than when we talked the last time is that the last time Jeff felt that we could pay for this with the contingency money that we had left, and now it sounds like, based on some other things, that contingency money might not be there anymore. So
Jeff
this
told
could
me
be-
today, this is where Mike might not have, I'm just gonna go with what Mike explained, or I'm sorry, with what Jeff explained to me today, was the overall project he had bumped up, and there was money in that you guys had already approved.
Okay.
Now, maybe there would need to be an appropriation, but it's not exceeding the amount that you guys approved.
Well, and Jeff felt comfortable last week
Yes,
that
correct.
we could afford this, but I just wanted to bring up that point.
Yeah,
He did say you have money in the contingency,
yes.
which will cover this.
And there
so-
also might be in, and that was where he was saying this, there might still be in the Northland Plaza, but I think all of us are a little cautious to say that there is going to be, because we don't know what's gonna happen in that project, because we already saw some issues in this one. So I think it's definitely in the overall legislation available that you guys did already pass.
Yeah. I think.
But whether or not you guys are gonna see an appropriation, hi, surprise, here it is.
So there's always potential for that, but.
All right, so we have a motion on the table to approve this. Should we say 22,000 or should we, do you have something?
to amend the agenda, but not the.
You want us to say it this way?
Yeah, we can try that.
How about I just read this?
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to should we say appropriate since we don't know for sure?
Yeah.
Motion to approve is fine.
A motion to approve an amount not to exceed $25,000 in addition to funding for the purpose of acquiring quick set concrete to benefit the Minerva Lake Road project.
Second.
Jason seconded.
Who moved it?
So moved.
The mayor.
Oh, yeah, no, okay,
Cost.
so cost,
Moved it.
Didn't you just say a motion to, isn't that?
Yeah, but I have to like say some, like you
Yeah.
seconded something, so seconded.
Second.
Okay.
there we go. So we have cost first,
Yeah.
then Jason.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
and then I'm just gonna actually do roll call. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do all in favor, so. Council President Camera. Councilperson Pinter. Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion,
Aye.
Councilperson Graham, and Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
You guys just needed me to explain it better. Okay, so I will, with Barb tonight or first thing in the morning, email Strouser and let them know that it is a go, and we will copy Jeff on it, so Jeff is aware that you guys did do that as well, so I don't get in trouble. And then,
Can we make a recommendation on this? And I know, in the future, I know this is the second project that this has happened on, right?
Yeah.
I would like to
Yep.
put that in the plan from the beginning,
I agree.
because I don't like the idea. If anything can help the residents, I mean, I think we would all agree, we would want that.
So, yes, but I think, remember what Mike said, is that his consideration is always for our budgets, and constantly, historically, the biggest problem with the village has been that we have always had more need for improvement projects with a smaller budget, and this is probably historically the second time ever where our budget met and exceeded what we were able to do, and we were able to finally add these things on.
I would rather have it in there and take it out and say.
You want like a bonus, like, hey, can you just calculate that in
Let's
there
just
as
put it
a
in
plus?
there, yeah.
I'd rather vote
I mean,
on
that's what
that.
I'm saying, I don't think I disagree with you, it's just historically, you have to consider that part. Can we
How-
just say, hey, can we just add that in as an option?
It's gonna happen when we do the road project and the street project over on the court.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Coming
gonna
up.
happen the same way, because our timing's gonna be the same.
Well, the court shouldn't have sub-base, that's just a mill and Philly said, you're
Oh,
talking
it is
about
a
Valley.
No, that's, wait, did he say mill and fill for
Yes.
just the
It
circle?
might be, yeah.
For
Now,
just
village
the,
though, or, I'm
That's a
sorry,
good question.
Valley,
Valley's one too.
but, you're talking about two.
Yeah, but that's
residents.
JP, do we really wanna?
Well, there's two residents.
Totally
You could-
teasing.
Yeah, well, it was the second resident.
he'll be fine.
But
Okay,
no,
can we do it for
is that
that?
okay to consider at least, because, as Jason stated, I would rather upfront know those costs, if there's contingencies past that.
Correct.
In all due respect, without Jeff here, we really, I trust you, but we don't know if the contingency is there, and maybe just became an extra 20,000.
Right, absolutely.
So,
I think it depends on those options, those add-on options
Yeah.
that we can opt
Absolutely.
into.
Yeah.
And that way we have those numbers before and after.
Again, this is all new to a lot of us. This was told to us that we could do it on that project, and nobody had brought it up until we were at this meeting with Councilperson Cost and Councilperson Grant. We brought it up because it was something that we
and
remembered.
I think the other, in all fairness to everybody here, more advanced notice, even if we're talking about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't clear, and I'm not pointing fingers at all. It wasn't clear on the last part. My concern was that it was exposed concrete. I don't know the technology, trust me on that. And that was my concern right off the bat. I did not know it was the base.
Right.
I thought it was a sidewalk at the time.
I thought it was the aprons or the driveways. So that was my understanding. And I'm not trying to, look, I just wanna make sure that, we got the email today, right? So like, it's kinda like, and I know this is moving and we're trying to help the residents, so I'm all for that. But I do think that we need to make sure that we're as clear as possible and as in advance notice as possible to vote on this type of stuff. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
All right, so, old business,
I think we've talked about all three of these tonight.
I do too. I'm gonna say 'em.
them.
I'm gonna say them since they're on here, and if anybody has anything, and then we'll move right past it.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything for the pool, the maintenance building, or the roadway project?
We had the kickoff, right? I
Yep.
just thought it was good. I enjoy her presentation. I think it was interesting, if you don't mind, the size of the current pool house was, I think, less. I know we got the picture, right? This is 800 square feet. I think, they're proposing 1,600, roughly 1,678. And I just wanted to point out that we are looking at a bigger building in general, potentially, well, we are. And I just thought it was a great step.
I agree. Anybody have anything else for those?
Not for those, but for survey, I just want to say real quickly, 200 people have responded to the survey. Thank you so much. Let's get another 200 in the next couple weeks. Barb will continue sending out reminders, and please, 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 if you need to fill it out on paper, come to the municipal building. Barb can help you with that, and we can't thank you enough for responding.
Awesome.
When's the closing date on it?
I'm saying 2 weeks, like the 24th. We kind of talked about, 4 weeks, so.
I was asked that at the NBCA meeting last night, and I didn't know the answer, so.
Yeah, around the 24th.
Okay.
Why can't we? Are we allowed to announce candidacies in new business, or is that too partisan or whatever?
Old business.
It's not, that's
Okay.
part of that.
I would like to
Go for it.
announce Councilperson Cameras, Councilperson Pinters, mine, and Councilperson Martin's bid for re-election in the upcoming election. I would like to endorse all of us.
Second.
I think we're doing a great job. JP, I'm kind of mad at him, but I still love him. And Councilperson Camera is a write-in. It has to be Jason Peter Camera. Make sure you spell that right. If you don't, it's on the website, and there's a sign places, and we like him, so. He's a keeper. There you go. That's it.
Did you find it?
Cost for council, woo!
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, grab that.
Are we moving around in new business?
Yes, let's move on to new business.
So, I'm just gonna bring this up, I don't always like being the mean guy in council meetings with residents especially.
Welcome to my life.
I just, we as council decided on rules, and I feel like we have to enforce the rules that we agreed to, so.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I took on that role as being the bad guy.
As always.
But it is not, I don't take joy in it and cutting off citizens and their comments, so I just want to publicly say that. We are at that time where it's time to review rules of council for next year, so if that's a change we want to make, we can discuss that in our next committee meeting or work session about what changes we're going to make in here, so.
Yeah, and if you want to take turns enforcing the rules, that's fine too, if you need a.
Are we good on that?
Yeah.
Again, I completely agree. There's nothing worse than being the bad guy, and you want to make sure that people can say what they want to say. However, there are times in which they can send emails as well. There's multiple different avenues, for
Practice
that.
talking fast.
Well, I think, again, these projects are never fun for anybody that's in those particular things. We have a job to do to try to improve our village, and what some people view as improvements, other people do not, which there's nothing I can do about that. I know if I could put a sidewalk through every ounce of this without disrupting every street, I would do it. I know that that is not practical, and that I don't see it happening, but it's one of those things that when I've come from every neighborhood I've ever lived in, I've never not had a sidewalk, and as a walker, I want to see these kids off of the street. I want to see, all of the dogs and things like that just is in a safer capacity. So while I understand it's disruptive, and while I understand I'm sure there's dirt and all of that kind of stuff, and it's inconvenient, at the end of the day, it's a very short amount of time to have sewer, to have all of this work done. I am sure there are quite a few people that live in the rest of the village that wish that they were having this project done. So while it's very difficult to see the, light at the end of the tunnel, it is coming. The only other thing that I'm going to point out, and this is where I turn into my negative Nelly self, is, this particular person was here on October 17th of 2024, and he did say, I will not argue with the sidewalks. And that's all he's done since in all of these. So again, while I understand he has frustration right now, there are most residents are excited about these sidewalks. So as much as I know that this is going to cost us a lot of money to get to Cleveland Avenue and eventually attach Jordan Road, there are many of us that have talked about it since 2016, 2017 to get us a way to get over to the rest of the village. So again, I'm disappointed that I'm not that person that's finally getting connected to the village, and I know that most of the people in Jordan are echoing that same thing. So while people are disappointed, we're disappointed we don't have them.
And I think, I'm very encouraged by this council because we have had a lot of discussions about what that big plan is for the village, and I think we're close to being able to communicate something, put something out in writing that helps give a vision for the future of the village. That's very positive, and we'll have some great results and improvements. So.
And even, I want to say that even though there's many things I don't support financially because I would rather Coda pay for them,
Right.
I 100% support the safety you know, the curbing, watching kids walk on people's lawns, and I'll see a post on some social media site
Yeah.
of whose kid is this walking to school with a backpack on the way to probably
Avoiding
the
a
middle
puddle.
school, and it's, well, no, maybe they're walking onto their lawns closer to their house, but you know, there's a slope, there's all the things, but it's like, I just want them to be safe and have a place to travel and not be in the street or not be on people's lawns, and I cannot argue that sentiment, and if I had to, if I had a mastered thing and I could say, it's the elephant for me, it's, I'll take one bite at a time over nothing all the time.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great way to say it. Like I said, I know that it will be over soon. It will be over, this one little section will be over soon, and we'll start it all over again, can't wait.
We're grateful for the opportunity for the future generation to have it better than we do.
Yep. All right, last thing I have. November meeting dates. If anybody has anything scheduled, they want to get things scheduled. Again, I know we're getting towards the end of the year. If we're having a safety meeting over the next month or two, start getting it planned. If not, we'll go full force on those in January. Same thing with finance. I know you're gonna have to talk to Jeff on that. But the deadline for the newsletter is
I'm guessing for us, the 17th.
17th of October. So if you want it posted in the newsletter, it doesn't mean you can't add it. October 17th is our deadline. So on October 14th, maybe we can get Jeff to commit to the next finance one. I'm expecting nothing for service, and we just have streets, a huge one, so.
I don't know if we should meet for streets after finance to figure out what finance decided in order to move forward with streets again.
Totally fine.
Maybe something like that before, like,
And I
but give
think,
me half an hour.
although we don't have full prices yet for next year, I think we start reading it on the 23rd, because that gives us 3 readings in 30 days so that we can start selling membership at the first of the year. I think we'll just put in some generic pricing at this time, and then we can update.
We'll leave it where we have it, and then, yeah, we can update it. So, honestly, that has not even crossed my mind, not even 1%. So thank you for bringing that up. Wow. All right, new business, old business, anything else, because it's time to adjourn if not.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.